Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
What?
Well, I am referring to a word in English. This is a long word in English. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I'm just learning this word. It means simply wonderful, extraordinarily wonderful, fantastic. Now, why did I bring in this word today? Welcome to another video on my channel. This is Renee Rose Matthew. I'm a CELTA certified tutor and thanks for watching me. I am shooting outdoors, so you may come across some natural sounds. I hope it's not going to interfere with the audio quality of the video. I'm sure that you're able to hear me as well. We checked that. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I came across this word on one of the famous YouTube channels from India, even on Instagram. It's good to learn long words. I'm not referring to advanced words. I'm referring to long words that stretches. It's great to know an extra word in English, but this one was pronounced very well by the creator. Now, I'm referring to the trainers here. What is the use of getting the pronunciation of long words right when you make mistakes with simple words such as hair, here, short, poor? Instead of saying poor, they say poor, and at times share, they say shar instead of share. I'm not referring to you, I'm referring to the trainers and people who call themselves teachers on YouTube. It's okay to share your knowledge, but let me tell you, learners, please understand that it's okay to have a co-learner. Okay, I'm going to give you some guidelines here. It's fine to learn long words. It's great to learn new words as well. But make sure that your basic words, the simple words also, are pronounced well instead of making mistakes there. Don't you think that when you build a tall building, the foundation should be strong? Yes, simple words add to the richness and quality of your sentences. I'm not referring to grammar here. It's nice to integrate the sentences with new words, but remember that if you're going to keep pronouncing the short words and simple words in the wrong way, it is definitely going to affect everybody. It is going to affect not only you, but even the learners, the viewers, the subscribers if you have a YouTube channel, because people are learning from you, and that's what we see through conversational videos. That's the first point, okay? You all are into shopping. You all purchase online goods, offline goods, products. But have you seen that wrong ideas and wrong products sell fast? That's because of the trend. It could be because of the marketing techniques. I'm not saying that everything that you see on YouTube with reference to language learning is wrong. No, it's not like that. That's not my idea. Please don't get me wrong. There are a lot of hot cakes selling fast, especially on YouTube, because of the trend. It's not wise to give importance to advanced words when you make a lot of mistakes with simple, short words. It's good to learn words. You have to do it because it gives you a sense of richness and completion. But if you're not going to pay attention to the simple words, especially as trainers, you have to really work on yourself. The second point is FOMO, fear of missing out. There are some people who feel that if I don't learn all these long words and difficult words, there is this fear of missing out. People are not going to respect me. It's an asset when you use difficult words, when you use advanced words, when you're able to speak with confidence. But don't you think that it's not right? It's not right to make repeated mistakes, especially when you know that people are watching you. When a large group of people are learning from you, it's similar to an offense. That's what I feel. Because there are a lot of people listening to you and thinking that it's okay, that teacher, this trainer pronounced it that way, so it's fine. When you make a mistake, I think you have to correct yourself. And before you call yourself a trainer, the trainers and people who teach others, who help others, even if you're not a trainer, please understand that you still have to get your basics rectified. No need to have this feeling of fear of missing out. You would have experienced fear when you were learning this language, thinking that if I don't know the language, I'm not going to fare well in life. The same fear can get repeated in the future where you feel you don't know enough words, you're a trainer. Before you call yourself a trainer, make sure that you know the basics. You know why I'm saying this? Many trainers tell me, ma'am, I'm only teaching the beginners and the intermediate learners. So I think I'm fine with the basics, or I just have to work on the basics. Partially it's correct, you should know the basics well. Even if you're only training the beginners and the intermediate learners, you should know the basics well. You can't afford to make mistakes with simple words because they are learning from you. Even if you're not a trainer, training and dealing with C1, C2 and even the advanced learners, don't you think that beginners and intermediate learners are very important? Even the upper intermediate learners? You need to know about the level of learners. So do not take it for granted when you deal with beginners thinking that it's okay to know this much. If I know this much, if I've been learning English for almost maybe 1 year or 2 years, now I can train beginners. We need very good teachers. I would say extraordinary teachers to deal with the beginners because they're just beginning to learn the language, and that thread of interest is in your hands. It can snap, it can break, and also you can make the thread stronger. It's that important. I'll give an example. When you go to schools, many people think that it's not a big deal to teach in the primary schools. You need excellent, talented teachers when you go to the primary areas. And schools are supposed to recruit excellent teachers there when it comes to the primary section, because you need talented homeroom teachers who can deal with all the subjects. Though the subject may not have depth, maybe you don't deal with the subject in a profound manner, it's important to deliver the topic, the area with so much creativity, improvisation. If one plan do not work, then you have to improvise. So such kind of skills are important. Class management skills, dealing with the children, dealing with the tantrums of some children and even your colleagues. Lot of skills are required. So it's not an easy task to remain as a primary teacher. Similarly, when it comes to dealing with beginners and intermediate learners, I feel you need skilled teachers, and don't take that for granted, please. Now you may think I've been mentioning some words. I have some words for you here. I've taken a note of it. For example, here, this is here and this is hair. Come here. This is my hair, not come here. It's wrong. This is here and hair. The next one, share. School, it's not is school. There are people who say is school, even people who are trainers or teachers on YouTube saying is school. Please note that even during a conversational session, it's important to pronounce these words right. Get it right. For. This is for, not for. It is possible to get these words right being an adult learner. And if you are aspiring to become a trainer, you have to repeatedly give yourself tongue twisters or read aloud. I often ask my learners to read aloud to get these words right, because we are not using it all the time. We have our own native tongue, we have a mother tongue also. So when you're not using it often, when you feel that this is not something that is comfortable to your tongue, then you have to keep practicing. Rewire your brain and make your tongue flexible in that case. Okay, that's the only way to get these sounds correct, not accent, it's about the sound. Now there are people who work on American accent, British accent, or even the Indian accent. It's okay, good. If you know there are 3 accepted pronunciations. One is British, second is American, third is Indian. Go to Google. Indian pronunciation is accepted and you can follow any of them, it's fine. Now, coming to accent, don't fake it. Don't make it also. Because when you fake it, when you make it, it's visible. It sounds artificial. You may think that beginners will not be able to understand. But after a point of time, your original accent will come out. The flawed accent will come out if you're not working on the pronunciation. There are people who sound very artificial when they make videos or when they even have a conversation. We all work on a language not because we want to create a YouTube video. We learn language so that we can use it for our own benefit, right? So that you can communicate effectively with people who are comfortable with the language. That's your purpose. Even in your career, it helps with your career growth as well. But otherwise, during a conversation, you can practice. That's a space where you can practice. When you speak to a co-learner, please listen to this point very carefully. If there is fake accent used, that is going to have a very bad impact. I would say a negative influence on the learner who is beginning to learn. Recently, I had a YouTuber telling me that I learned everything from co-learners. I said, that's great. That's a space for you to practice what you have learned. But you should also take some mentoring sessions, because for a very long time, she has been into it. And still, she accepts that she is making mistakes with the basics. And imagine so many people learning from you. Imagine so many learners coming to you and then taking sessions or having a conversation with you, thinking that whatever you say is right. I'm speaking about the basic points. I'm repeatedly saying basic points because you may get confused. You may misinterpret and think that how can a person know everything? Not possible. You don't have to know everything. You are not expected to know everything. There are a lot of people who have completed their research, but still we don't expect them to know everything. That's not possible. And this lifespan is not enough. This lifetime is not enough to learn a language completely. All that is there. But keeping all that aside, when you have decided to become a trainer, don't you think that you have to really work? You have to really work on the basics before you even begin training the beginners. Because when you have a conversational session, you cannot expect people to learn it wrong. And then what happens? The same learners will come and tell the other trainers, I've been learning it for a long time, but there is no change. Being an adult learner, you're expected to do some research. There are a lot of trainers on YouTube, but they also ask you to research after the session. But many people just like to be porous like a small child. That's okay, but listen, read. Those who listen and read will not have these problems. The next point is showcasing and exhibiting all that you learn. People learn a lot of idioms and phrases, but you're not expected to showcase all these words when you're having a conversation. But you're not expected to showcase all these words, these idioms and phrases in your sentences when you're having a conversation. That makes it look as if you are here to only exhibit the words and phrases that you know. What is the purpose of knowing a language? It is only to communicate. And communication itself has become a very big problem and issue today. When I speak to the IT professionals, the doctors, engineers, they know everything. Technically, they are sound and they are also able to communicate to an extent, and most of them listen to English in some way or the other. But the communication is a very big problem. So when you are here to enhance your communication skills, you don't have to exhibit whatever you have learned. You can use one or two words. I tell all my intermediate learners this. It's good to upgrade your sentences and your language, but you're not expected to use everything, display everything that you have got. See, after going to a supermarket, if you purchase a lot of things, for example, eatables, are you going to have everything in one go after coming back home? No. You will use it as and when it is required, right? Similarly, when you take something, allow the mind to process, allow the mind to digest, and after that use it when it is required. During conversational sessions, you can definitely practice whatever you have learned, but do not make it sound redundant. There are people who tell me, ma'am, I learned this word 2 days back. I learned this idiom and phrase 3 days back. It's okay because they want you to cross-check the word or the usage, but the fear of missing out, do not be engrossed, immersed in this idea of exhausting everything that you have learned, everything that you have taken, gathered. It's good to research. Use it whenever it's necessary. The appropriate usage of word is important. If you're not able to use the right words, the appropriate words in your sentences, you're not a good communicator. Using new words make your sentences rich. You will get A+ when it comes to vocabulary, but that's not it. Okay, when it comes to IELTS sessions also, they mark you for vocabulary, grammar. If you're just going to use idioms and phrases that's not appropriate to the context or to the sentence, what's the point? So today I just wanted to make this video to ask you, to request you, it's a big request. Please cross-check where you're going, from whom you're taking training sessions. Ensure that they know the basics. People cannot get away saying that I'm only training the beginners and the intermediates. The beginners and intermediates are very important. because they are beginning with the language, and intermediate learners will have a lot of confusions. Only when you learn, you will face problems, you will encounter problems, which is great. When you learn, you will research, you will have words to be clarified, you will have concepts to be clarified, which is good. So intermediate learners will have more to ask, even beginners. So they form an important part of the learning population. You cannot get away saying, I'm only training the beginners, I'm only training the intermediate learners. Make sure that you are working on yourself when you're training. Before you begin with the beginners, make sure that your basics are right. Otherwise, don't go for the beginners and the intermediate learners, because if you feel that you can get it right after some time, after a long time, it's not going to happen. You should have your study period. There are people who take sessions and then they take a break to check if they have got everything right, to practice, and to check if whatever they have gathered is helping them out. Reformulate the methodology and even the way of planning their study plan. When I say study plan, I've already done a video on this. It's not about writing Monday I'll do this, Tuesday I'll do this, Wednesday I'll do this. No, it's not like that. It's all about how you remain consistent, organized, disciplined. I know there are a lot of people speaking about this. I have been through this. That is why I'm sharing. And I have also seen how people learn it the wrong way. Just like how I mentioned in the beginning, wrong trends and fake products sell fast. You will get to know about the fake, the fraudulent activities only after some time, when there is awareness. Today, when you look at all the fraudulent activities that's happening around, you may feel that they are genuine, right? They will be very pleasing, they will be customer friendly, but after some time, you will get to know that they are not true, they are not genuine. So many Instagram pages were closed. They were also deactivated because of this. Little did people know that all these pages were involved in fraudulent activities. When I say pace, you don't have to go very fast. Don't force yourself to go very fast. If you're consistent, believe me, after 6 months, you will experience the change. You should be experiencing the change. You cannot speak like a dictionary after 8 months and 1 year. There will be a very big change that will come your way. The last point, I know that you all are extraordinary learners. I trust you. But the problem is you are getting misled. Some of you are getting misguided also. Fluency will not come to you if you don't change your way of learning. Just by having a conversation, just by learning some words, going to the comfort zone repeatedly, or even not able to understand little bit of how this language works can definitely put you in this whirlpool of wrong method of learning. You may not even know that you are in this wrong method of learning. Some trainers themselves don't know. I'm not saying that I know everything. I discovered many ways of teaching and training only after 2020, when the online learning became rampant, when it became widespread, when we had a broader horizon of people teaching and then also coordinating with each other. So we always check whatever we are doing, and even after my CELTA certification, I got to know about some techniques. But before that comes experience. Dealing with people in real life itself gives you a lot of motivation and vibes on how to work on your language and also others. So when you're a teacher, when you're a trainer, you get a lot of opportunities to work on yourself. That's what I've been enjoying. So I'm sharing all these guidelines from the experience that I've got. 6 to 7 years of experience in the same field is not an easy task. I know that there are a lot of upcoming trainers and people who work hard. Get to know about the learning strategies and the process that they're giving to you. They would have gone through transformation. Transformation will not come in one day. It comes through a series of changes. Changes lead to transformation. And if you really want to join my training sessions, one-to-one training sessions, you can email me. I'm always here. Otherwise, if you've already enrolled in some course or some speaking sessions, communication skill sessions, ensure that they are thorough, at least that they are doing 95% justice to the basics. I'm not referring to the advanced words and usages. Even when you learn, for example, when you learn conditional sentences, you have the advanced level in every concept of grammar. Okay, but I'm referring to the basics. You cannot afford to make mistakes with the basics when you're training the beginners and the intermediate learner. We need smart people who deal with beginners and intermediate learners, and most of the people are capable of learning. The only thing is they have to fix certain ideas, certain methods, and some pathway in their mind. It's not that they are incapable of learning, they don't have the ability to learn. No, that's not true. It's that you have to fix their ideas, their approach to the language itself. So there you need an experienced tutor, a trainer. I hope you get the point. Happy learning.